Hey everyone, and welcome to 10 Talks. I am your host, Kyle Garza.
I'm co-hosting here. My name's Don Trimble.
And I'm your co-host, Nick Busta.
And today we're going to be talking to you guys a little bit about the subject of board games, which, believe it or not, are making a huge comeback in the US right now. I just read an article the other day that, kid you not, was about this rising surge, especially in millennials, to get back into face-to-face interactions with each other around a table, playing board games instead
Is
of
that
the
true?
online
Did
community.
you really read that? That's
No,
not true.
really.
Is it?
I'm sure I read it in like Hipster Magazine or something like this. It's for real.
Okay.
It's so real, in fact, that in the town that I live in, there is basically, it would be the equivalent of an internet cafe, but it's a board game cafe.
Yep.
It's called Xander's. Shout out
Yeah.
Xander's.
Dude, they are big. Yeah.
Wait, there's more than one?
Yeah, I think maybe I'm thinking of the same place, but I know that I think in where I am there are two. Now, it's not a very big area.
Wow.
If we have two, it's like so.
Well, it's a concept that's out there anyway. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the idea basically. The way the one works where I live is you pay $5 and it's open to you all day long.
Yep.
And you can imagine walking into a big room that just has shelves full of board games. And for that $5 that you pay, you can play anything you want as long as you want from open to close.
No.
Is this a good
long.
deal? You feel like this is a good deal?
That's a huge deal. I mean, okay, you know why I know that's a big deal? Because I don't know if you remember this, but when Blockbuster was alive, rip, F at the chat, Blockbuster was like, what, $6-7 to rent a single video game for a week. For a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay? But mind you, that was like, it came with whoever had it before. So occasionally you had broken ones and it was messed up.
When that disc skips, man, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, and it was lonely too, because it's like you brought it home to your Super Nintendo or your whatever you had, and it was just, well, I'm gonna be doing this by myself now for a while.
I love that you say that too, because I there was a point in my life I remember I had to tell myself, like I had to promise myself, I will not play. It was NCAA football. I told you guys this.
Yeah.
I was like, I will not play this unless I'm with another person, not online somewhere else.
Right.
Like not even somebody I know. They have to be sitting next to me because it is so much more fun looking at them and laughing and just taunting. Yes. It's not the same doing it. No matter how, like, can people watch other people play? Come on, right?
Yeah.
This is a thing.
So this is the glory of board games now, and this is an even nerdier subculture. Is you can YouTube. I'm sure there's Twitch channels for this too. People playing board games too. In fact, my wife and I'm not ashamed of this. We've found these videos in order to learn difficult board games.
Okay,
see, some of them are so complicated. It's like,
yeah, because you're watching an expert like, okay, look, the rule book is this thick,
exactly.
So I'll learn by doing. It's fine. You know,
I can never. I'm sorry, you guys. So funny.
No. But like, okay, but Kyle and his beloved. They did it for a purpose. If someone just said, I've got an hour to myself, I could read a book, I could better myself, or I could watch a random video of someone playing Battleship.
Then you have a problem.
That would worry me.
No, this is on the level. So I'm not obviously talking about Battleship or Candyland or just, simple things like that. We're talking the ones... And I'm also, let's be clear too, I am not talking about Dungeons and Dragons. I have had friends try to get me into that. We literally never started. And like after the 3 or 4 hours I was there, I was like, this is way too much. I can't commit to this. This is a part-time job is what it felt like.
Wow.
So I was not into that.
Well, that's intense.
But I'm talking the things where it's like you sit down and you're going to be there for at least an hour doing stuff with people that's going to take some good Well, I don't know. My favorites are the ones that take good thinking. But there's always like, the gateway drugs, right? There's Settlers of Catan. I think that one's gotten enough notoriety to where people are like familiar with that name.
Okay. I'm literally going to start a notes page. I need like recommendations.
You're really going to write these down?
Yes. You should go.
Okay, look, I don't need to write these down.
A little bit there.
I have copies of all of these at school. Like literally, I have a storage box because, okay, so this was a thing back when I was teaching 8th grade. Was I had students who occasionally for lunch just wanted to play board games. And so I had a stock of board games, and it was my own Xander's basically, but for free, obviously. I taught kids all kinds of stuff that they had a lot of fun with, and it was really cool, actually.
Cool.
So Settlers of Catan is obviously the really simple one. It's one of my least favorite ones because the RNG factor is way too high to me. Okay. RNG, for all our noobs out there, it's the concept of what we call a random number generator. So like a die, obviously, is a random number generator. And most games have this sort of spectrum of RNG to skill. And the good ones are a good mix of the both of them, where it feels like, oh, I got lucky, but I also played well, and then it's rewarding when you win. It's not like playing War, if you remember that game with cards, where it's like you're just flipping cards and hoping you win. Like there's no playing that in any kind of skill way, right? So Catan is like that in that there's some decisions you can make that kind of determine whether you're going to win or not, but a lot of it is the roll of the dice, and that's frustrating. I hate that.
Okay.
I don't know. What are you guys into?
So, like, I'm a fan of, like, one of my favorite board games of all time is Risk. So
quality. That takes me back to such childhood and bonding with my dad and my brother. Man.
There you go. See? And I love, obviously, like, historically, like, you can use it so well. Like, we play a modified version of it in class to demonstrate the age of imperialism, like all that stuff.
Right. I've heard about that. The kids love it, from what I hear.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I had one student literally make another student cry on accident. Nice. On accident. He felt really bad. But
did he take all of Russia?
No, it was it was the Scramble for Africa. It's actually a pretty popular game to play.
Africa has pretty dominating point value, actually.
The natural resources, were intense. But
don't wave your finger, Don. You don't know what we're talking about.
You're right. I don't know.
Anyway,
that's the most wealthy continent on Earth, right?
Yeah,
but they can't tap into it.
That's actually true. Like,
it is.
That is gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
And so, we use it for that. But then I love playing with my nephew, Ryan. He's 24. And, we've played for a long time. But it's because he likes to get under people's skin. Like, one of those players. Like, I'm a player who, like, if we're playing Monopoly and then, like, you land on something and you have to give me a ton of money, I actually feel bad. I'm like,
okay.
Oh, man.
So you're the dude who has 2 hotels on Boardwalk and is like, I'm so sorry.
I'm really sorry. Like,
I know you're about to pass go, but it's not going to do anything for you.
Sorry, like, you're done. Like, I'm sorry that you're done. But he'll do the kind of thing where he's like he'll sit back like this as you're moving, and then, like, you'll make a move, and then he'll be like, mm-hmm.
Like, no.
And then be like, just what I thought you were gonna do. Mm-hmm. Like that, and you're like, no, you had no idea, and he's like,
now wait, how would that work? Because that would be annoying in, like, checkers or chess, especially chess, I think. But Risk, it's like you can't just sit back and dictate a move. You have to interact with whoever is making their moves, right?
Which is why I think he was full of it. So, like, he just says that just to mess with you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like this guy because I can't give you guys any recommendations. Like, all the basic. I love Risk. I play chess. Right.
Okay.
My lady and I played. You guys know what Phase 10 or Skip-Bo is?
I've heard of both of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so sure, like to do my gaming a little bit, but all I do on any game is I just sabotage the game. Like, I don't think I have the attention span, if we're gonna be honest, you guys. Like, I just break it and then make everyone mad, and then I laugh. That's it.
You're that guy.
This will help. I know you say you're not into much, but this will actually help us gauge what kind of human being you are. In your opinion,
okay,
is Apples to Apples a real game?
It's a social experiment is what it is.
It's a serious question. Is Apples to Apples a real game?
See, to me, it's just like a movie. I'm going to fall asleep anyways. I don't care what the game is. I'm serious. It's about the human interaction way more than any game. Yeah. I don't care about it.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. Yeah. That's where I'm at.
I get you. Okay, that's a fair answer.
I got to reverse it to you. Kyle, is it a game?
No. Well, let me say it this way. I would classify it in a genre of a game that to me is people who cannot make their own fun. And so it's a combination of words and topics that you're hoping will make people giggle randomly. I mean, it'd be the equivalent of everyone basically having a copy of the dictionary and essentially just playing Balderdash, but just weird combinations of words, definitions, and associations.
Okay,
and
but
it's like,
I
how zany are we?
Oh my god,
we love Balderdash though, right? Come on.
Well, Balderdash is actually,
I think it's a great game.
Here's the thing, Balderdash is a clever game because it's really about deception and
yes,
especially being clever with your words. If you have like the good edition that isn't just words and definitions, but has like movie titles or acronyms for organizations, like those are super fun
for sure.
Because I think what's so good about that one in particular is that it's a matter of, well, it's kind of like apples to apples, and you have to kind of know the people you're playing with because you can usually take a good guess at like who would have written something like that. But what's also great about it is that often the correct answer is so ridiculous that it's hard to guess what's made up and what's not. So that's clever to me.
Dude, I dominate.
Apples to apples is as subjective as war to me, where it's like there's not really, people say there's a strategy because it depends on who you're playing with and, you know, whether they're into like correct answers or they're into zany answers or stupid stuff like this.
I don't know. I have been called an elitist with art, and I just smile and say, yeah, I am. But you are totally an elitist with board games, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
It really is, dude. Well, but here's why. It's because I have this sense of indignation. I don't know where this happened. It's probably something in my childhood that scarred me, and I don't even realize it. I have this sense of indignation when I lose, and there was nothing I could have done to prevent that.
Yeah.
I hate that feeling so much. I would much prefer it to be something where it's like I made decisions that adversely affected my gameplay, and that's why I lost.
This is what I think I love about board games is that I truly believe that there's at least one board game for everybody. And people say, I'm not a board game person. That's a lie. You just haven't heard of it yet.
Exactly. That's just like reading. Sorry,
yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's like what's great about capitalism, like lots of different options, right? Like capitalism kind of breeds that. And so, if you just type in people have whole blogs dedicated just to finding new games and talking about it and playing. There's a drawback, blah, blah, blah. But I bring one up in particular. I'll try and make it quick. I have a very good friend who he made his own board game. And it's kind of a scary.
Did it get Kickstarted or crowdfunded?
He did it actually just for fun. Oh. I truly believe that if he even admitted, if he polished it up a little bit here and there, he might sell it.
Sure.
At some point. But it comes with its own soundtrack because he also makes music. And so it's a horror themed board game, survival board game with a soundtrack, and the soundtrack has a timer in it. And so as you're playing, I played this with him New Year's Eve at his place, a big group of us. And I kid you not, during the game, I was so scared during this game. I would literally tell him, okay, just tell me when it's my turn what to do and how to move. Because I'm too scared to think die. Right now. I just don't want to die, And so it was a cooperative game. We were supposed to work together. It didn't work. We ran out of time,
Sure.
And the game ended. I'm like, okay, we're done. We're dead. Okay, fine, great. And I went and I had to go to sit in a bright room and just Jesus loves me.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Man, it was good. It's like.
So what you're talking about is the idea of thematically consistent games. The ones where it feels like you're playing what the game is designed to be. This is a classic thing that makes Candyland obviously so fun as a kid. Is it's the board, right? It's the presence of the board, and Don, you'd appreciate it's the art of the board that makes Candyland what it is. It's not the go forward 3 spaces, go back. It's the going past the mud chocolate monster dude and that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So for me, the same kind of thing can be said of certain games where it's as you're playing it, you feel like it is what it is. So great example, and great example too for COVID-19 is the game Pandemic.
Yes.
In which you play one of a number of roles, basically trying to stop a virus basically spreading around the world. And it's a complicated deal. It's basically, I'm talking to Don now is what I feel like. Basically, Don, what we're talking about is think risk because it's a globe, right? But events will trigger that cause outbreaks of a disease, and then you have to get your medic character over there and deal with it or things like this, right? Now, what's wild about it, and I don't know if this is the first of its kind, it was the first that I was aware of, is that it's a game that evolves every time you play it. So it's one of those ones that comes with a box of stuff that you're supposed to open if you've played 2 games and you lost one and won one, open box 3 and do this. Or it'll have like the rule book, let's say, and it'll say, you know, take this piece of paper. Yeah, just get rid of it. Do what you want. It'll say like, take this piece of paper out, add it to this space in the rules, and now the game is different from now until the end of your play, kind of thing.
Wow.
So Ken's and I played this 4 times, I think. Okay. And basically we messed up one game because we didn't understand one rule in particular and ruined it so badly that all future play was basically impossible. Basically, we let the world just go to hell in a handbasket, and we didn't realize it. And so it was like, well, this was a waste of money. Like, it's ruined. So this is what I'm talking about where Nick's saying, like, those, you know, thick rule book ones. It's like that. You got to really know what you're doing, and you got to look up how it works before you get into it.
Dude.
Sorry, that was really grave. It's a sad story in board game land for me.
Go ahead, Don.
No, I'm just always like, I'm impressed. I always think like when I think of board games like this, at first I think I'm in awe of the mind who created it. Right? Come on.
Yes.
And that's amazing. Yeah. But I also think in my head, well, it's limited to what a human mind could think your entertainment could be. And that's I was just thinking the negative because I don't have time for these things. But also. I hear like I don't know if you're gonna hear this on the soundtrack, but my daughter was like downstairs, like Wah! It's just my life. But
glorious.
Also, like, I'm telling you, I don't know. Like if I have my friends there and they bring out the board game, like I'm ready. I'm gonna sabotage this. I'll have fun with you guys. Okay. Like let's sabotage the game. But I just would much rather either drop me out like in the middle of nowhere, nature, or in the middle of a city, and your life is a board game, bro. Right? I love random and I love that. That's what I love, man. So, I don't know.
So what's funny about that is like my fondest memories are playing Risk while camping, which is the combination of both of those things, which is sweet too. Don,
that's good too.
Here's what we're gonna have to do: is we're gonna have to actually get you to try some of these like headier ones.
Yeah,
that's probably it.
And force you to not just doze off or sabotage it. Game. Because, dude. There's some of these that are out there right now that are so good at getting you to cooperate together to accomplish one goal. The ones that I most enjoy that my friends have introduced me to, one is called Dead of Winter, which is a zombie survival game, but it's like on a board basically, and like literally you're working together to like find supplies and food and, you know, set up barriers so they don't get in, kind of stuff. Super awesome. Takes like 2 or 3 hours though. Oh my gosh. Quite an investment.
Don't say that.
I have to be honest with you. You got to know what you're getting into.
But dude, I know what you mean. The cooperation, like that's where it's at. Because it reminds me of like escape rooms. No, I love those.
Yes.
Those are great.
Oh, yeah. Escape rooms. I made an escape room once. Did I tell you guys that?
For your class?
Yeah. So there was a thing in middle school. It was when I was teaching middle school, and there was a day where they were like, do something that is in the vein of what you teach, but is something that gets kids working together and having fun in some way. And I thought, like, well, the escape rooms has actually a lot to do with reading comprehension and critical thinking and, you know, literally solving puzzles given words that are given you, basically. And I made an escape room, and oh my gosh, it is so complicated and difficult to keep things straight and to reset it. I think I did it with 2 or 3 different groups. Resetting it alone, dude, that is stressful. Just making sure you have everything the way it should be, making sure you can't like skip steps to, you know, go ahead on things that you're not supposed to be able to reach yet, that kind of thing. So much respect for that. That's why I think like it's really rad to live in 2020, because crowdfunding is one of the best sources of getting good stuff out there. Yeah. Really cool one that I picked up for this is a buddy of mine basically who's like the board game guru, I think. And he found this one called Spirit Island, which is the anti-Catan. So you know Settlers of Catan, right? It's a big circular island.
No.
I know you don't, you nerd. Gosh. Okay, so there's a big circular island. You have to build like roads and towns on the island, and the more you build, the more you win, right?
Right.
Spirit Island is the opposite of that. You play like the native spirits of an island, basically, and settlers are coming to inhabit it. And your job is to get them off the island through plague, pestilence, and fire as best you possibly can. And I kid you not, dude, it is thematically rich because again, you're cooperating together, you're communicating with each other constantly, and it is so much good fun. And it was just a random dude, probably with a team of artists and friends helping him out, who just was like, hey, I have a concept for a game. I need $20,000, because apparently it's really expensive to get games off the ground like that. And like tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars later, they got expansion packs for it coming out. Like the work that has gone into it is just so impressive. And it's probably kind of what Nick was talking about. Like, this is the glory of capitalism. If you have an idea and people are down with it, they will invest in it because they are free to. Glorious.
So cool.
Sorry, I'm geeking out on this because obviously I'm hardcore in that way.
It's awesome. I love it.
I'm learning. I love it.
Well, that is today's 10 Talk. Until next time, we'll say once again, we love you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Look out for the 10 Talks board game. Coming soon.
Ooh.